AskReddit by Complete Suite 5222. What is the prettiest song you ever heard in your life? Gymnopédies Eric Satie. These songs seem timeless, like they existed since the beginning of time and just had to be discovered. I can listen to them anytime, no matter what mood I'm in, and they just make me feel present and valid in that particular moment. They make me believe that every human that has ever existed has had so much in common with every other human, no matter where or when they lived. We all breathe, we all eat, we all feel the sun's warmth on our skin, we all look at the same moon at night, we all sleep, and we all die. The Night We Met, Lord Huron. Fuck, just thinking about that song makes me think of my ex-wife and tear up a bit. Years of no contact later and she still wipes me out emotionally. Vincent, Starry Night, by Don McLean. So pretty, but so sad. White Winter Hymnal, not really the prettiest lyrics if you know what it's based on, however the flow is just so calm. It's Blue Ridge Mountains for me. Harvest Moon by Neil Young. This song reminded me of my parents because it's about the long-lasting love that comes from a mature, long-term committed relationship. After my dad passed, I shared the song with her. Every night after she went to bed and turned off her lights, she would ask Alexa to play Harvest Moon. A year later her heart started to fail her. With the help of hospice I cared for her while her amazingly wonderful heart slowly, yet at the same time abruptly came to a stop. I begged her not to leave us yet as I fumbled for my phone, and quickly played her Harvest Moon. I like to think she heard it playing as she walked towards my dad and finally got to dance with him again. I fell in love with Scarborough Fair by Simon and Garfunkel as a kid and I still have a soft spot in my heart for it. Edit, thanks for my first award, S. I can't wait to listen to all the covers of the song and other S&G songs you've suggested. The Boxer is haunting. In a clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him till he cries out, in his anger and his shame, I am leaving. But the fighter still remains. Anna's Song by John Denver. I have seen hundreds of concerts since 1965. I have seen the Stones more than once, and all the Beatles except John individually. I have seen Prince, Madonna, Santana, The Who, the Original Animals, Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane, just for starters. I could go on and on. However, I saw John Denver in 1979 and that concert is in my top 10, if not top 5. It was magical, especially Anna's Song. The man was an incredible entertainer, greater than the sum of his parts. Very humble, very precise in the sound he wanted, a perfectionist. At Last by Etta James. Barber's Adagio 4 strings. Both Sides Now. By Joni Mitchell. Her more recent performance of it was something else. She's aged and it almost has a different meaning knowing the biggest part of her life is behind her. One of my favorite songs period. Hop It Polla by Sigur Rós. I was going to say Stir Alpha. Time in a Bottle Jim Croce. First time I heard Operator, I cried. Broke up with my first real long-term GF a few months before. OP. This was a really wholesome question. Especially for this sub. In my life. Played this at my brother's funeral last month as bittersweet and sad it was. I play the song almost every day, for that last line. I love you more. Claire de Lune. This comment sent me to Claire de Lune on YouTube, as I don't know the song, and there is a guy who comments on the video every day with whatever is going on in his life. He's over 900 days now. It's so random and oddly sweet when you read what he has to say. Unchained Melody Righteous Brothers. This song makes me cry every time, no matter what. Blackbird. I started singing this as I clicked the post, happy to see it with so many upvotes. Dream a little dream of me. Mama Cass. Had to scroll way too far down to find this. If you could read my mind, Lightfoot. Did not expect Gordon Lightfoot to be at the top of this when I opened this thread. He's a musical hero for me, such a legendary songwriter. I'm glad there's appreciation for him out there yet. A lot of the Jim Croce songs are slept on in my opinion. I got a name. I'll say I'll love you in a song. Hey tomorrow. Operator. Walking back to Georgia. Edit. Corrected some titles. Yes, Operator is a great song. You've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime. Breaks my heart every time. Vienna by Billy Joel. The whole album is great, but this song, if I listen to closely, I cry. Over the Rainbow Israel Kamakoy Will. 1,000,000%. My big brother's favorite song. Since he passed, I have a hard time keeping it together whenever it comes on. So many great ones mentioned. Just like Heaven the Cure. And Pictures of You. Avril 14th. I apologize in advance for telling the story that nobody asked for, and I know this is gonna just go out into the nothingness, but I used to have a fat tabby boy cat named Bob, short for Bobbert. We were soulmates. He was my sun and my moon. When I first heard Avril 14th, it filled me with such warmth that I scooped up my sleepy Bobby Lou in my arms and gently danced with him, kissing the top of his head and inhaling his scent, and got teary, completely swept away by the music together. It was a beautiful moment. Anytime I heard that song from then on, I would scoop up my Bob and dance again, and it always devastated me a bit because I knew that one day, he wouldn't be there to scoop up anymore. So I would be completely present with him during the whole song. He would lay in my arms like a baby, totally blissed out from the love and attention. When he left this world, I couldn't listen. Edit. Holy shit, I literally thought no one would read my comment. Lava in Rose. I will follow you into the dark, Death Cab for Cutie. What Sarah said has got to be one of the most poignant songs ever written. I Will Follow You Into the Dark is another great one by Death Cab. Ben Gibbard is an amazing lyricist. Your Song by Elton John. This particular verse has always been a real favorite of mine. So excuse me for getting. But these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean. Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. It's such a great song. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is when you're in the world. Teardrop by Massive Attack. April Come She Will, Simon and Garfunkel. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Benny King, Stand By Me. Emphasis on the Benny King version. Always gives me chills and comfort.